This meeting is being recorded.
Ooh, that was loud.
All righty.
No, I was like, that was a lot louder than I anticipated.
All right. Welcome everyone to Witchy Wednesdays at 1. Today is February 15th. And I hope you all had a happy Valentine's Day yesterday, or Galentine's Day, or Lupercalia, or whichever way you choose to celebrate this time of year. Today I am so blessed and honored to have a special guest speaker on the show. Her name is Jo'elle Thi Boroff. She is a curandera, a medicine woman, and she is the founder of the Dancing Moon Society in Sydney, Ohio. So we are going to be chatting with her today and see what sort of magical things she's been up to. Welcome, Jo'elle. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people may know that we are friends, and full disclosure, we have shared many circles together. And in the spirit of using this broadcast to spotlight other healers and light workers and change agents, you were one of the first people that I wanted to feature on this show. So tell everyone who you are and a little bit about where you live, any kind of educational or career background, family, hobbies, you know, all the basics about your normal life.
Okay. So I'm Jo'elle. I live in Sydney, Ohio. It's a small little town that's actually getting quite big. I work at a local metaphysical shop. I absolutely love it there. I've got 4 kiddos, a husband, all the craziness of life. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I also have another side business that I run full time. So life is crazy on top of everything else.
Yeah, tell everybody a little bit about your side business.
My side business is called Sacred Dream Creations. I make pretty much everything you can think of. If I've never made it before, I won't say no. I try it, and if I can't, then I find somebody else who can. So I try to leave it open. Right now I'm making about 30 something products, which is insane. And I sell at 3 different businesses. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing because, you know, a couple, 3 years ago when you started this journey, you were in one little shop and you're just exploding. So
I know
it's super exciting. I think especially in that area of our state, people were really hungry for some touch to their spirituality, and you have gone a long way toward providing that opportunity, both in products and services and opportunities. So let's talk a little bit about your soul mission and how you found your feet on a spiritual path.
Oh man, I wouldn't even know where to start. So I guess my path started about 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. I was a pastor at a church, and I was a youth pastor, and I knew something was missing. A part of me just always has known something was missing, and I never felt like I quite belonged in that place. I always knew I was going to be a leader, just never could figure it out. And so my husband was best friends with somebody in Maria's group, and I messaged him, and I'm like, hey, is it okay if I go to one of the group gatherings? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, like, come hang out. And when I went to one of my first circles, it was like I instantly, like, my soul knew where it belonged. And like I felt right at home. I felt so much just like explosion of passion. And from there, you know, I've tried to figure out who I was and try to figure out my path in all of this. And I think it was about 2 years ago, I started coming up with the idea of starting a group. And I was absolutely terrified because I didn't know the first things about starting my own, you know, group. And all of those things. And I did it. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to jump in head first. I've got, I'm a pagan clergy, and I've got the background as a pastor. So I kind of already knew how to run things, just not in the pagan sense. So there was still a lot of learning. But I don't feel like I found my real soul mission until I went to California and sat with sacred medicine and really learned who I was supposed to be and what my medicine was. So that's what I would attribute to kind of being the first, like, holy crap moment.
Yeah. And there are a lot of those along the way when you are really walking your magical or spiritual path with sincerity and passion, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think we all get started from a place of fluffy bunny, like we want to check it out, and we want the cool crystals and the incense and the tarot cards, and we're all in until we have to really face our first big shadow, or deal with some of the triggers that we have from our past trauma, and integrate those into our whole soul. So that we can find healing and closure, and really embrace our medicine and our power. So it's been absolutely beautiful watching you blossom. I mean, you fire right now. So so now that your feet are on this magical path or spiritual path, what can you tell the audience about your individual traditions or modalities of work?
So I've kind of cultivated this over the past year and a half, and I'm still kind of like really pinpointing exactly where my medicine is. And I think I finally figured it out. So my cultural background is in Vietnamese and Aztec medicine, both as a curandera and a shaman. It's been passed down in my family. Never knew that's what it was called until I really started researching and really digging and talking to my grandmother and stuff like that, is when I kind of figured those things out along the way. And like I said, a part of me is always known, because like I've just all these different experiences since I was little, and the dreams, like, oh gosh, the dreams. So I've always known I was something. I just didn't quite know. And so cultivating all of that, the services that I offer, my passion is helping people with their inner child. I feel like the shadow work and dancing with our inner child, our inner crone and our inner adolescence, is so important to our healing process. And so sitting with medicine and doing shamanic journeys and whatever else we may come up with during a session, I kind of guide into, embracing the childhood aspect and learning how to walk with her or him, and how to heal and walk together, and to bring pieces of the soul back. So I also do soul retrievals. That's kind of a part of it. And that's kind of where my medicine kind of is with that, and the services that I offer. I always kind of integrate platicas, which is like a soul heartening talk. And then, if we need to do Olympia or whatever it may be, each one's kind of tailored to the specific client. So it just depends.
Right. So for those who may not know, Olympia is a form of a cleansing or a clearing, washing away all of the negative energies and entities that you may have in your energy stream at the time. All right. So what do you think was the biggest aha moment for you? I guess California, right?
I think it was a mixture of like California, and then I sat with medicine again in August of last year, and that medicine really cracked me open. I had to recover from both of those for about a week. I was kind of lost, and in that week, in both of those week time spans, I really learned, my deepest shadows. Still learning my deepest shadows, but I would attribute California to being the start of it, and then my medicine journey in August as the other start, because it really opened my eyes into who I was supposed to be and who I was supposed to embrace. For my second medicine journey, I experienced my past life, and that's where I really figured out who I was. And they like to just slap it into you.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's for sure, I think.
Yeah.
Just because I know a little bit about your process, I think it is amazing that your sacred place, your safe space within, contains all of your grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
It really speaks to not only the ancestors supporting us in big and powerful ways, but it also speaks to the divine feminine.
Yeah.
So I think it is a beautiful manifestation of you co-creating that safe space within. So right now, what is really got you on fire? What is your particular modality or medicine that you would like to share with our audience today?
So my particular modality is shamanic journeying. And here lately, I've been more in tune with soul retrieval, and mixing that with the pieces of ourselves, with our childhood, because I really feel like a lot of people, especially in this community, they don't feel like they have someone to listen to them. They don't feel like they have anywhere to go. They don't know how to connect with their inner self, and they forget how to play and dance and be true to who they're supposed to be, and they're lost. So my specialty is helping people find that piece of joy and fulfillment and love again inside of themselves, and to bring those pieces back into them so that they can feel complete. And I really like watching people relearn who they are and find that joy inside of themselves and really embracing who they are. It's been a really magical journey. I have one client who, when I first started seeing her, she was all like whispery, like, am I supposed to do this? And I'm like, you're okay,
Yeah.
And now she's bloomed. It's amazing to see her path, and being able to walk alongside of her and help her in that has been a really beautiful thing for me.
Right. So, yeah, that's fantastic. It is this ability to reach a hand out and help others into the light that makes some of the darker places worth it.
Yeah, and see, and I think that's so. I work with death, and I think that's my real specialty. Is I work with death. I start in the darkness because that's where I'm comfortable.
Right.
But then we work towards the light, because it's a slow and steady progress. If I know that better than a lot of people. And starting with death, it enables us to really release and to be able to see our transformation and to be able to embrace it. And then we could be in the light and do all these fun, joyous things.
Absolutely. So if someone were to book a session with you, what exactly would that look like? Would it involve meditation or crystals or drums? How is it that you work?
So a typical session, when I first see somebody, I tell people, give about 2 hours allotted time space. So within the first couple of, like, I would say like 30 to 45 minutes, I do a platica, which is a heart straightening soul talk, because that helps me figure out what we need to do and what kind of medicines we need to work with. So depending on however that conversation leads, we'll do sacred cacao, or other types of medicines, and then we'll do journey work. And so I typically do a drumming session, and then I go into a trance, and I drum, and I just have my client lay there, and I use crystals, I use tarot, candles, whatever needs to be used for that particular client. And so generally it's about a 2 hour process, just because the journey itself maybe lasts 10 to 15 minutes. And then I like to make sure you understand what you've seen, what I have been heard, what messages I have heard for you. And then I make sure you're in a good headspace to leave.
Yeah, that integration piece on the backside of the processes of healing is so important.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are like, okay, we're done. Have a nice day. And
yeah, no.
going like, what just happened?
Yeah, no. That's why I got my certification as a shamanic life coach, because I wanted to make sure that I was integrating people into their journeys and back into the mundane world smoother. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your new group, the Dancing Moon Society.
So the Dancing Moon Society was kind of a dream that I never thought was actually going to happen. I was very terrified. I didn't know where I was going to start, how I was going to do it. I mean, it was just so many what ifs. And we're actually coming up on our first year as a group, and I'm really excited. We're going to throw a big old party. But so Dancing Moon Society, the name actually came to me while I was doing a deprivation tank, which was really cool. I got really excited.
Another modality of healing, right?
I know. It was amazing. And so my goal with the group was to create a community of spiritually minded individuals here in Sydney, because so the shop that I work at downtown, we get so many people that come in there and they're just like, can you help me with this? Is this okay to say this in the store? Right. And they were just searching for something. And I knew it was supposed to be me to start something. Right. And like, it's terrifying because this community,
you were being trained for it.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. And like, it's so scary because this community is very Catholic here. And so like, there was also that fear of that pushback. But with the support of you and my friend Betsy, you guys really pushed me into doing it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And so our group meets for every major turn of the wheel. We eat lots of good food all the time. We do drumming circles. We have women groups, men's groups. Those are just starting. I mean, the list just goes on of all these amazing things that we have planned. And after California, I came home with this grand idea, and my husband, thank goodness, was so supportive and let me have the garage. And I gave him a month, and I'm like, we need to get this done by June. I was like June 23rd or something. And we made a sacred temple, and it's absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. And the energy in it is just amazing. And it's really nice to have, because for our inside groups, we can just go out there and hang out. And I see all of my clients in there. And then during the winter months, we can't go to the park. So we go inside the temple, and it's been a really beautiful experience.
Yeah, and actually, maybe after this is over, you can go into the comments on Facebook and drop a picture of your temple in there.
Yeah, I sure do.
So let's talk a little bit about how people might find you on social media and how they might get more information on perhaps working with you in the future. By the way, if you live anywhere within 50 miles of Sydney, Ohio, go see Jo'elle. The temple is beautiful. Moonflower Effect is a beautiful shop. She offers a lot of her services in there and is in part helping to kind of hold down the fort. That role is also growing. So yeah, if you live anywhere near Sydney, go visit Jo'elle, get a reading. But okay, so tell us all about your socials, your details of how people can get a hold of you.
So the best way to get a hold of me is, so if you want like a specific thing made or anything like that, it is through Sacred Dream Creations, and that is on Facebook. Right now for the Dancing Moon Society, we just have a private Facebook page, and if you just type in Dancing Moon Society, it will pop up. You can reach out to me through there. Pretty much, if you just search my name, you can find me too. And if you want more information on my clients, or not my clients, but being a client and seeing what we have to offer, just feel free to reach out to me directly. We are going to be building either a website or an actual Facebook page. It's something I'm still kind of working with right now.
Yeah.
So at some point I'll have that. But yeah, so that's the best way to find those pages. For the women's group, I have a sacred page, or a separate page, sorry. And that is called Sacred Soul Feminine Group. And you can join on there, and we meet up monthly for in-person women's groups. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So you can, if you are local or, not too far away, book time with Jo'elle in person, or come to one of her events, or find her in the shop, Moonflower Effect. But you can also work with Jo'elle online. A lot of the shamanic journey work can be done over video. So absolutely reach out to her if this is something that you are interested in, and I'm sure she will inform you of all of the different ways that you can get a hold of her, and how she might be able to benefit you in your healing and enlightenment process. All right, so we're going to go into the links here, and we'll drop all of the details for anyone who is interested. We will put links in the comments underneath the video on how to find Jo'elle. Thank you so much for being here. Is there anything else that you would like to share or talk about while I have you on here?
Just with Dancing Moon Society, we are filing to be a nonprofit, so we are going to do a lot of community-based things. We're going to try to partner with a local nonprofit, and they support mental health. All of their proceeds, or most of their proceeds, go to mental health. So like pagan meetup groups and stuff like that. We're going to be offering a lot more here soon, so just kind of keep an eye on the page. It's going to be really awesome, the things that we have to offer. And I don't want to say too much quite yet, because I still got to talk to my board about it. But we're going to have so many different things. My goal is to have this amazing built up community where we're all connected and feeling like a part of a family. And that's through different meetups and just hanging out with each other and being real.
Absolutely. And we're definitely gonna collaborate at some point in the future and see if we can meet in the middle, get all of our people together and hold a nice big event once the weather warms up for good.
Yeah.
So we'll be working on that as we go into the spring and summer. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I couldn't be more proud.
Thank you.
Just a shout out to all of you. I am looking for more guest speakers on my show, Witchy Wednesdays at 1. So if you would like to hop on and be a special guest on our program and tell people about your modality, your magic or medicine, and share some details on how people might be able to work with you, please feel free to reach out to me by direct message, and I will see if we are a fit for each other. For today, that's all I got for you. This is Maria, wishing you a very witchy Wednesday. I love you like mad. I'll talk to you later. Blessed be.